This is the special call meeting of the Carthage Council for Thursday, July 8th, 2021. Would you call the roll, please?
Councilwoman Knappel.
Here.
Councilman Babcock.
Here.
Councilman Eagle. Councilman Peters. Councilman Petty.
Here.
Vice Mayor Reese.
Here.
Okay. Thank you. There's 4 items of business only on tonight's agenda. The first item is we have a couple of special permits. You remember a few months ago, well, there's 2 for July and then there are a few more for September, August and September. Originally, we talked about taking them individually per month. Do you still want to do that? Yes, sir.
Motion to approve the permits.
Second.
For July or for all?
All of them.
Okay.
Second.
So permits for, just so we have this on the record, July 10th, July 24th, August 21st, September 4th, and September 18th for the concert series on Saturday nights. That would be from 6 to 9, I think.
Does that take care of all 12 of them?
That should be all of them, yes.
I think, was there a few more in September?
Just 2.
No, I think there was further out, wasn't there?
Well, we'll just approve the permits that we have. If they apply for more, we'll approve them at that time.
Yeah.
And does the Drug Coalition have one in there for August?
No, I think that was already approved. wasn't
Was
it?
it?
Candlelight or something?
Yeah, the candlelight.
No, the Candlelight Vigil was approved, but I think they're going to do a movie night. They're actually going to do one more movie night,
Oh.
and it's going to be in August. You
There's
don't
nothing
have
We
there.
don't
that?
have one for that.
They don't have an application. Do you want to, well, if you give it to us next month, it's still, when in August are you going to do it?
I don't know, they set the date, but I don't have it. They just told me today it was in August. I assume they might have already turned that in.
No, but if you'll turn it in tomorrow, because the first Thursday, it's most likely after the first Thursday, isn't it?
I would think so.
Yeah,
I would think
so we can approve it at the August meeting.
Okay.
Okay. So I have a motion, do I have a second? Second?
Yeah.
Okay, any discussion on that? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, thank you. The next item, we have the pool invoice, as we explained, she explains in here, we did most of the work on the pool, and Les can tell you a little bit more, but they got to a point, Les, and then they realized.
Yeah, it just got to the point, it couldn't be matched, it had to be.
Right.
And they came in and actually replastered the whole hall. Yes, sir.
Motion to approve.
Motion to
Second.
approve. Second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? So this is approved.
And it looks good.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Really nice
It
down
does.
there now.
They did, again, compliment them, Les, and everybody who had anything to do with that. Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion not to ratify the charter at this time.
Okay, the motion is not to ratify the charter at this time. Do I hear a second to that?
Second.
Okay. Discussion?
Can, Mr. Jekyll, can you enlighten us any on this, or do you think it's all been covered?
Well, I think it's been covered, but if you want me to, I can, but you've got to allow me to talk.
Yes.
We've been through that once before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Motion to suspend Robert's rules to allow Mr. Jekyll to speak.
Okay, motion to suspend, second?
Second.
Any discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, all right.
So what you got back from the state, and I literally went back through the resolution that you all had submitted.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, yeah.
And the only other thing that they did do, which in hindsight, I understood and agreed with what they did, when we sent this down originally, we had included the hotel motel tax as a part of this package. And the reality is, it should not have been a part of the charter, the way it was processed. So the state actually, in approving what they sent back to you, they took out that section on the hotel motel tax and put it back where it was originally, which is a standalone private entity. So that's really about the only other change that the state of Tennessee made to what you all submitted.
with it having been 2 years and we've had an election in between, I just felt it was better to clarify in there and let new councilmen be aware of what the changes were.
So just, so we're all on the same page, the motion is not to ratify. If we don't ratify, the two things, outcomes. If we don't ratify, it's the way it is still now, but then if they wanted to make changes, we would start over and change for the future, and then go through the process again.
Yep.
If they voted no to not ratifying, which is a little backwards here.
Well, yeah, it is very much backwards. Actually, the resolution probably should have been to approve it, second it, and if you don't get 2/3
Right.
to vote for ratification, that fails.
Yeah, that's usually the way.
That's kind of actually how Robert's rules ought to work.
Do you, would you want?
We don't do ordinances and resolutions in the negative.
Would you want to rescind and put it in the positive if you?
That's what we gotta do, I'll be happy to do that, right? I rescind my motion,
Okay,
make a motion to approve,
to ratify.
to approve the charter ratification.
Okay, so in that case, if 2/3 of this group approve it, it is the new one. If you don't approve to ratify, it stays the same one we've been working with ever since. And if you want to make changes, you would do it
Mayor,
going
we gotta get a
forward.
second first before the discussion.
Well, okay, I'm sorry, I'm just clarifying. You have a
Second.
second here. Okay. So, again, just to clarify with the vote, so we're all on the same page. Is there any discussion on that?
So if we ratify, that means that people who own property or businesses in the town will be allowed to vote, have one vote. Is that correct?
Well-
If we vote to ratify.
That's the way it's written in the new.
Okay.
With certain, there were certain qualifiers.
Right, okay.
I'm sorry.
All right. That's all I've got to say.
Okay. Yes, so again, the motion is there any further discussion?
Yes, there's two people missing. Does that affect the vote, the majority?
No.
No. It's 2/3 of who's here.
We have one. Correct.
It's 2/3 of the total body.
Oh,
We have that.
okay. 2/3 of the total. All right, sorry, good clarification. Any further discussion? Okay, again, just so we're all on the same page, the motion is to ratify. If you ratify, it changes to this new form. If you vote against ratification, we're still with the one we've been with ever since, because this has never been passed. If you want to start over, then we start over. Okay, should we do a roll call on that? Okay. Roll call vote? And it was either for ratification or against ratification.
Councilwoman Campbell,
Against?
Councilman Babcock,
Against?
Councilman Petty,
4.
Vice Mayor Reese.
Against.
So we don't have a 2/3 vote, so it's not ratified. Okay, all right. So we still are using the charter we've been using for several years now. And we can start over then if you want to change anything. All right. Just want to make sure we're all on the same page about that. Okay. All right, thank you. Next one, since our councilman isn't, yes, sir.
Do we need to make a motion that it be added to the agenda for the next meeting?
We can certainly start working on it again. Yeah, we can't vote anymore, but we start working over again. If
Right.
you want to change, make changes.
You
I'll
just
make a motion.
email me and tell me you want it on there, I'll put it on
All right, okay.
Okay,
I'll just tell you now then.
there. Okay.
Say phone call.
okay. All right,
Can I say something?
sure.
I think that's probably something we should do in a workshop, not in a meeting. Our meetings are long enough as it is, we don't need to.
You've got a good point right
We don't
there.
need to be arguing about a charter in a meeting, because we might be able to
And
midnight.
you got a good point.
Okay.
Don't have it on Mondays, I'm out of
So
town.
so maybe we could, would you want somewhere down the line just to have a workshop to work on this?
Yes, we'll plan a workshop maybe when everyone's here next meeting, we'll plan a workshop to move forward with it.
Good.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
All right, the next item, the person who was going
Well,
to be.
can we not do a second? You made a motion, right?
We can't do that We can't add that to that.
Okay.
Yeah,
And it's not necessary.
Yeah, I can just put it on the agenda, I
yeah.
think.
But we'll just put it on the agenda to plan for a workshop today. Okay, thank you. The next item, the property tax person is not here who's going to speak to it, so that's the end of, yes, sir.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to
Second.
adjourn, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.